My whole career, I've been told it's not personal, it's just business. Bullshit. How can owning a business not be personal? So let's get into it. Let's get real, transparent, and authentic. Let's talk about the bullshit we face as business owners. Let's talk about the multiple hats we wear, the staffing challenges, the insane expectations, and even about the money. At Collective Alternative, we do marketing, but it's not who we are. So let's talk about it. Let's get personal. Hi there. Welcome to the Making Business Personal podcast. My name is Amanda Parker. I am the owner and president of Collective Alternative. Thank you for joining us today. And I have with me Kaitlyn Magiera. She is our, and I never get her title right. Okay, just tell me. It's something business development. So tell me.
Vice President of Business Development.
Vice President of Business Development. So basically she's important. So we'll just leave it there. Thanks for joining me today, Kaitlyn.
Of course.
I'm excited to have you. This is exciting. This is your first time in the podcast seat.
It is.
How does it feel?
It is interesting. I did not know we got so high tech in here.
Definitely high tech. We want to make sure that, we've got all the bells and whistles and we're doing things right.
I love it. It's very comfortable in here.
Yeah, nice. Good. Well, I'm glad you could join me today because, and I've been looking forward to this topic for quite some time, I really wanted to talk about sales in this economy, especially because, as you know, we focus on small businesses. And there's so much going on right now. It's really hard for them to kind of focus on or decide where do they put their efforts, where do they put their dollars, especially when those dollars are so tight or significant, way more than usual, right? They're always important because it's small business and they don't have money to just throw around. But when the economy is tighter or things are going a little crazy like they are right now in today's economy, it's definitely necessary to be more thoughtful, more strategic with those dollars. And as you know, we do strategy here. So that's what I wanted to talk about today. You cool?
Perfect.
Awesome. Okay. So one thing we have really tried to focus on with our clientele is with kind of the downturn in the economy or things tightening up, making sure that they aren't throwing things at the wall to see what sticks. So tell me a little bit about how we do that.
So in our strategies, we focus on a variety of ways to get in front of people. We focus on grassroots efforts. We focus on media if the budget allows. We focus on making sure we're selecting our audience and in the right areas for our clients to get the best bang for buck, as we like to say. So some of that could be a lead gen campaign where we are sending out emails, following up with personal emails, maybe even helping with some calls, note cards. That media has really changed recently, maybe in the last year or so, where cost per click is getting really expensive. So trying to find different ways to still do that same thing, but use the best of our money for the best tactics. So a lot of it's going to Performance Max, or we're looking at different areas.
I'm sorry not to interrupt you, but so I think you shared with me cost per click. Didn't you say it's gone up like 19% in the last year?
That is exactly it. Usually every year we see a slight increase, less than 5%. Maybe up to 7%, but right now in the past year, we've gone up 19%. So the dollar that you were spending before is doing a lot less than what it had been before.
Yeah, and it was already so competitive.
So competitive.
Yeah.
So people are spending so much more money on it. Not only are you competing for that impression or that reach, but now you're competing against people who are spending way more money because they've seen that increase of cost per click. So that competition out there is very steep. So what we have been doing in our strategies is really looking for that grassroots effort, finding clients in a different way than others might, really focusing on that lead generation campaign, really focusing on some different SEO efforts. Mm-hmm. We've created some new subdivisions of us to really keep our eye on the prize, but focus on a different way of doing it to really get the best benefit for our clients.
Yeah. And I was going to say, definitely focusing on lead generation, because when working with small businesses, you never have the budgets like Nike or what have you to just brand an endless. So focusing on that lead generation, and let's talk about some of the new things that we have put together for our small business clients that will help them with that lead generation. Tell me about those.
So one of them, we are calling it CA Tagger.
Which I love the name.
I do love the name. And it's a different way to get out there organically. We are creating a system in which our clients can then load photos from a job that they were at. Doesn't give the client's address or any of that personal information out there, but it gives them a geographical area that they've done business in, maybe they don't usually do business in, and it allows them to upload a photo, upload those keywords, which we know Google loves. And then when people are searching for a business like that or giving the keywords, I think of our plumber client. He is out there, he takes a picture of maybe a new sump pump being installed. Well, somebody in that same area is also looking for a sump pump, and they see that he just did one up the road. Very close. And we can even attach a review onto it. So they know that somebody very close in their vicinity got that same thing done, has a review, loved what they did for them. I mean, that is just a bonus. Everybody is looking for that review system of, oh, did my neighbor get this done? They always look to their neighbors first or their friends and family first.
Yeah, somebody they can trust, a trusted source.
Yes.
Yeah.
So this gives them that opportunity to really see that without having to really ask.
So it's hyper local SEO.
Very hyper local.
Okay. Well, that's really cool. That's a very cool product. And it's front facing as well, right?
Yeah.
Where people can see the photos. They can see what people are saying about it. So it brings in kind of that testimonial piece.
Oh, yeah. And it's easy use on both ends.
Yeah.
Easy use for the customer to see, but also easy use for your employees to use.
Yeah.
Just a little added thing for them.
So do you think it is predominantly for service-based businesses, or could it be used for any type of business?
I think it could be used for any type of business, depending on if they're going to a client's house and or delivering things to a client.
Okay. So more geography based. Okay.
That customer or that employee has to be at that location to get that photo to put that geotag onto that.
But B2C, more business to consumer as opposed to B2B.
Yes.
Okay. Don't you think even B2B could be used if they service a number of businesses in an area or something like that, right?
Well, and we have a commercial client that uses it. They do asphalt and concrete.
Okay.
And it's primarily B2B clients, but they're still doing that service piece.
Yeah. Okay.
So definitely that works. I think there's a variety of different ways for it to be used.
Yeah. Well, and I know if you talk to Simon, he will be first to say it's the first iteration of this, and he's already working on the next round. So lots of cool things to come with that.
Oh, yeah. He's always working on it.
Yeah. Very cool. Okay. What's the other type of lead system that we have working these days?
So this one is kind of a direct conversation with consumers. So we created a system where we have a variety of different ways to get in front of people. We've actually used it for ourselves because I wanted to make sure it's going to work properly, and I really liked it.
Walk the talk.
Oh, yeah. So we are sending, right now for us, we are sending text messages to business owners in an industry that we would like to get into or build our brand there. So we are sending these text messages, very hard hitting. Here's what we can do for you. Are you interested? These people have the option to opt out if they don't like it. But surprisingly for me, it was a good learning experience. There was a lot of people who were like, yeah, can we jump on a call now?
Nice.
Or, hey, can we schedule a meeting? Or some of them just didn't even want to talk, which is okay by me. They just want to text back and forth of what that would look like.
Okay.
Maybe not now, maybe later.
Yeah. So still good engagement.
Oh, very good engagement.
But in a number of ways.
Yes.
Okay.
So finding those people, sending out those text messages, and then there's also that option of emails. Very personal, quick emails being sent out to those same people or different people. And then also reaching them by Facebook and LinkedIn. just trying to get to them in whatever capacity that they like to be communicated with.
Mm-hmm.
Some people might like that email. Some people might like the text message. Some might like social media. So finding those different ways of communicating with that same person to see what best fits them,
Mm-hmm.
how best can I communicate with them in whatever way they would like, and then continuing that conversation through one system.
Yeah. So it's really a direct lead gen system.
Yes.
Okay.
And the way that we are finding these contacts, we are getting all of that information up front for the most part. If we're missing anything, it's maybe their LinkedIn profile.
Mm-hmm.
We can go out and look for them there.
Mm-hmm.
For Facebook and LinkedIn, we're looking at groups. So if you're looking for property managers, we can enter into a property manager group and move forward there.
Okay. But most of it is automated, right?
All of it is automated.
Okay.
It's really setting that initial thing up and then letting it run. And you're really just answering at that point. Now, if you want to,
and then we just manage it, tweak, edit, adjust as we need to.
Yep.
Okay.
And as soon as you go through or you start seeing a low amount of responses, we can add in a different geography. We could add in a different industry. Whatever it may be, we can always then add in and tweak the messaging to then fit that audience.
Oh, very cool. Okay, so you know what I love about that?
What?
You're meeting people where they are.
Oh, definitely.
Which everyone who knows us knows that is called the CA way, and I love it. I love it. Okay, so definitely bringing in some new resources, some new tools, capabilities to clients to make their dollars reach farther.
Yes.
Being strategic, you said, so that we're not just throwing things at the wall to see what sticks. Tell me why it's important that people continue to market now in this economy as opposed to, say, holding off or slowing down or just going into maintenance mode.
You never want to stop a train from moving. So I think that's one of the first things you taught me coming into this company and starting to work for you is you never want to stop a train. If you get a train moving and you have to stop it, it's going to take double the effort to get it back moving. Mm-hmm. So
like pulling on the brakes of a train.
Oh, yeah.
Slams it shut, right?
Continuously moving that train, even if it's just on maintenance mode, that's fine. If you don't need leads right now, or you just don't have the money to spend that is completely fine. Mm-hmm. So having that train gradually moving is great, but also if you need that lead generation and you need those different marketing pieces, let's figure out a way to work around that and still get some things accomplished. Mm-hmm. So,
yeah, I know a lot of clients will, especially in this, when the economy starts to slow down or things get a little bit tighter, marketing is like the first thing that they cut. And we've been very diligent at telling our clients it's the last thing you should cut. And I mean, yes, we're personally vested in that decision, but tell me why it's the right decision.
Right now is a great time to increase your market share, not remove it. If you stop things, you are giving somebody else your market share. That is the last thing you want to do right now. Mm-hmm. So right now is the time to increase that market share. Mm-hmm. Stay in front of all your clients. Find new clients. Even if they're not ready to make the decision right this second, they will be. And they're going to remember the people that stood in front of them, kept continuously marketing to them in different variety of ways. But that this is your time to increase that market share and really own your geography, your demographics.
Mm-hmm. Goes back to the train, right?
Yes.
Other people are cutting their marketing or, pulling it to a stop so that they're quiet. Mm-hmm. So now there's less noise to overcome so your dollar can go even further.
Yes.
Yeah. I like it. How has the response from our clients been when you talk to them about that?
Some of them have been hesitant. A lot of them either didn't have their business yet in 2008 and or just hadn't experienced that. So I think some of them are a little hesitant. A lot of them, though, get it. They made it through 2008 mm-hmm. and they got to see that it was really hard. So hearing what you and Kylie are telling people, what I'm telling people is to keep that moving. Even if it's just maintenance, keep it moving.
Mm-hmm.
And they're seeing the benefit right now already from it because things are kind of slowing down and people aren't doing as much at the moment, but they're still seeing that market share and that market increase for them. So if we can just spread the wealth of knowledge there, I think if people could see what other businesses are doing right now, they would understand that they have to keep moving.
Yeah. What kind of responses have we seen for clients that we have kind of amped up their marketing this year?
An increase of sales, an increase of business, maybe not direct sales, but people are coming back to them and starting another conversation. For modelers, maybe it's another room,
Mm-hmm.
or especially because homes are just so expensive, our remodelers or even our builders who are doing some remodeling have seen an increase in that aspect.
Mm-hmm.
Just changing their dynamic a little bit just to increase that sale or increase their business. But we've seen a really good turnout from us continuously working.
Yeah, an uptick in their overall business.
Yeah.
Okay. And I know, with that comes changing their messaging a little bit because we have to pay attention to what's happening and we have to address that. It's, the elephant in the room, so to speak. So addressing that to make sure that people understand where they're coming from, but there are still buyers out there, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So tell me a little bit about, have you seen a greater increase for our B2B clients, B2C, or does it matter?
Do know that it's mattered. I think the clients that are looking to increase budget because they understand that market share are a lot of our B2C.
Mm-hmm.
They see the benefit of some of their competitors quieting down.
Mm-hmm.
So they're taking full advantage of it. Literally, what we are telling them they are doing because they understand and they really get it. Our B2B, I think, are still doing great. You're just not seeing them add on another so much money, $1,000 for media every month.
Yeah.
They're more looking for those grassroots efforts that we're going to be doing for them. They're looking for the
So it's
messaging.
not just changing our messaging, it's changing our tactics.
Oh, yeah. I think we have in the past now 4 months since it's April, which is crazy. We've probably changed about 10 of our clients' strategies just because things have changed for them.
Mm-hmm.
Things have changed in their business. Things have changed budget-wise. They might be hearing from a different kind of audience. So really focusing and changing efforts to that audience and how can we get best in front of them.
I want to pick on one client in particular.
Okay.
And you'll know just who I'm talking about. He is the one who tells me all the time that one of these days he's going to divorce me.
Yes.
And every month when I meet with him, one of these days we're going to get divorced.
Yes.
But he was probably, I can't say the first one I would have thought would kind of cut his marketing, but I definitely thought maybe he would put me on pause or hold, especially when things got tighter, builder, right?
Mm-hmm.
Leads aren't coming in, that kind of thing. And instead, he's all about let's dig in, let's get strategic, let's
get creative.
Yeah, let's target a neighborhood, let's use a different message and, all of that. Tell me a little bit about what that conversation was like and how we went strategic there.
I love those meetings. Those are my favorite meetings to have. You least expect it, especially like you were saying from him. But that conversation was, I'm not seeing anything. I'm not getting my leads. I don't have enough business to keep people busy. What do you think we can do here? We have to get strategic. We have to get creative. I don't want to cut my marketing. Keep on always telling me I can't stop the train. So what does it look like?
Yeah, he really called us to the mattress, didn't he?
He really did.
Yeah.
And we got to really get strategic with him, get creative with him, and started asking some really hard questions. Mm-hmm. Are you open to remodeling? Are you open to meeting with different groups of people? Maybe it's
expanding your area a little bit. Yeah.
Expanding area, expanding where you could get partnerships from and get referral business from. How open are you? Mm-hmm. And surprisingly, he was very open, very open to anything and everything. And what he was grateful for was that grassroots effort, because a lot of it wasn't media.
Yeah.
Some agencies would push media, but instead we said, no, why don't we send brochures to this group of people?
Mm-hmm.
Why don't we reach out to these people and see if we can get them to come to an open house or come view one of the homes that you're finishing up? So giving him a variety of options and then putting plans together for those with our team, bringing those back to him as a solution, to me, that means everything. And I feel like he was very grateful. He understood what we were doing.
Surprisingly more engaged.
He has been very, very engaged. It's been about a month and a half now, and he's been very engaged in reviewing his things, making sure that we understand. He's really looking at the content to make sure he's comfortable with it.
And not that he wasn't before, but he was just so busy.
So busy.
But now that he has more time to work with us, I feel like it's been really helpful from our perspective to dig in with him and figure out what's the best path for him to move forward. Do you agree with that?
I would agree. And it's a little plug here of why I've been here for so long and why I love CA is we do that every day. We will get into the trenches with our clients. And though I'm not always happy why we have to, like the economy changing or anything like that, but it's the most exciting thing to be able to change a strategy because we are nimble and we get into the trenches and we like to do that whole brainstorm and come with solutions for a different way to get in front of the same people that he's always wanted to.
Yeah. Well, and I would add to that, I don't mind being called to the mat. Like, do it. Let's go.
Yeah.
Because I want to walk the talk. I want to put my money where my mouth is. I know we have certainly stepped up and helped in other areas when clients have been struggling, but I love that piece of it. I love that we don't just give them, hey, here's some great marketing and good luck. We stick it out with them. We make sure, it's working on their end. How are you responding? How are you capturing those leads? What are you seeing? What are you saying? So on and so forth to make sure that the conversion's happening and it's really working.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, I love that. I mean, I certainly wish they probably don't wish they were as busy as they once were, but I mean, I want them to see all the success, as I know you do. And I hate it when it's a little bit more challenging, but at the same time, I'm never going to back away from that challenge. And I know this team doesn't either. This team, like you said, they get in the trenches and they will stick it out and then some.
Yeah.
Like just dig in and let's do this. And I love that. Okay. So I just want to wrap this up, but I wanted to just kind of recap. I feel like we've talked about a lot of things.
Yes.
In a really short period of time. So we talked about how now is not the time to back down your marketing. If you can, step it up because it's a quieter competitive playground, so to speak. So we want to get that voice out there as much as possible. If you need more strategy or need to adjust, take the time to do that and make that shift. If you are looking for more lead gen, maybe look into a different type of marketing, obviously something like our system or, others that are out there. And I think lastly, I would say get strategic, get in the muck and, stick it out, but be communicative to your audiences, think about ways you can expand and make sure your voice is being heard. Did I miss anything?
No, I think you're completely on the mark. All of those things are definitely priorities right now.
Awesome. Okay. So you did say one thing. You mentioned Performance Max ads. And I know that's newer. So I'd like to have you back and talk about media and talk about different types of ads. I know you said pay-per-click, so that's like the Google AdWords ads, and I'd love to dig into those a little bit more with you. So would you be willing to come back and talk about that?
I would love it.
Awesome. Okay. Well, thank you, everyone, for listening to the Making Business Personal podcast. And thank you, Kaitlyn, for coming and sharing with us today what's going on the sales side and people really marketing their businesses. It was great to have you.
Thank you for having me.
All right. So once again, just thank you for listening, and please stay tuned for our next episode. You can get it anywhere you download your podcasts. Thanks so much. At Collective Alternative, affectionately known as CA, we do marketing, but it's not who we are. It's important that we're good at what we do, but it's so much more than that. It's about showing up as we are and living that out each day. So let's talk about it. Let's get personal.